Well, here we go then. Second race in the Eastern Airways British F1 Sidecar Championship here at Silverstone. Let me tell you, Tim and Tristan Reeves are already champions. They did enough yesterday to put the title out of reach. Andy Peach, Charlie Richardson there in second, but moving up, Ben Holland and Lee Watson from Hegarty. Lovelock, Edwards, James, you can see the standings there, but I can tell you, it is late in the day here. The sun, James, is going to be very, very difficult.
Absolutely. It's not just the sun in the eyes as you go towards it. It's actually the sun bouncing off the track as well. It's a strong sun. It's really low, and in certain parts of this track, it's going to be difficult to see, I'll tell you.
Well, some of them were wearing dark visors. It was a problem yesterday afternoon, but it's been such a glorious day here at Silverstone. It really has been absolutely fantastic. That's how they line up. Birchall set a new lap record yesterday, chasing Tim and Tristan Reeves home. 2:12.6. They are the front row. Then it's Holland and Lovelock making up row 2. Andy Peach and Tony Brown, absolutely fantastic. Tony Brown and Ashley Hawes. Tony Brown up from Dempsey, but he's using a tuned engine. He had to talk to all the other competitors, and they all said, "Go on, mate, go for it." How good is that?
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Ricky Stevens and Barry James there behind them. Young Sam Christie in with Barry James. So that's how they line up. We expect Ben and Tom Birchall really to go for it. They'd never been here before, James, so they were finding their way round. They went from 4 seconds adrift in qualifying to within a fraction of a second.
Yeah, and this is not such an easy track to learn. It's quite involved, it's quite quick. As a shape, you can learn your way around, but it's knowing where the edges are, and it's more difficult with a sidecar because it's lower down. It's difficult to see the edge of the track.
No reference points.
There's nothing. No, the grandstands are way back. You've just got grass without the circuit, and it's difficult to find your way around.
Hegarty went out yesterday with a gear linkage problem. Mark Edwards had a broken chain. Andy Peach had a steering bearing seize, which dropped him down to 7th place. So it was something of a race of attrition yesterday afternoon. But this race too, with the champions in pole position. Tim and Tristan Reeves then, World Champions 2012, British Champions 2013, Ben and Tom Birchall, an FIM silver medal, runners-up in the world. So we've got some top-class stuff at the top of the field here. And Ben Holland and Lee Watson on the Fitting Cat Suzuki, the yellow and black bike from Lovelock on the Driver Wolf BMW. There's a lot of rivalry between Tim and Tristan Reeves and Ben and Tom Birchall.
Yeah, there is actually. I've seen that at the Isle of Man this year. You know, it's normally within the sidecar ranks is a massive camaraderie, but they want to win, both of them.
They do. But watch the lights. Away we go then.
I forgot.
Look at Birchall. Birchall's quick off the line, but is he going to get it as they go first of all off the line into Copse? Who's going to get it? It's Birchall. It's Ben Birchall ahead at Copse.
And that's how bad the sun is. You can see it's just totally bleaching the camera out on turn 1.
It is they're straight into the sun. But Reeves has gone in front again. He knows as they come out of Copse. Tim Reeves has got ahead of Ben and Tom Birchall. He is so smooth. I can tell you, Tim Reeves through the speed trap was about the 8th quickest. He was 9 miles an hour down on Ben Birchall on the fastest point of the circuit, but he does it on smoothness.
Yeah, and it's all about being smooth around here, especially with these sidecars. Lots of this place, you've got so much centrifugal force with these things. Lots more grip than that. Here we go with the Birchalls up the inside. Into Stowe.
Oh,
that's not going to work.
Tim Reeves letting the brakes off, just running in on the brakes. But both of these guys, former world champions, they know what they're doing at the top of their game, both of them. Ben Birchall said to me, in fairness, he said, Tim Reeves is riding as well as I've seen him ride ever. So let's give you a rundown on this. Ben Birchall is in second place. Tim Reeves ahead of him. Then it's the Driver Wolf BMW of Roger Lovelock and Aki Alto. Then it's Andy Peach, Charlie Richardson. Then it's the Finning Cat of Ben Holland. And look at young Tony Brown on the Paymundo.com Yamaha. He's riding there, Paymundo.com. Guys come over from Canada who runs that company to watch them race today.
Yeah, and actually it goes out in a lot of countries now, does BSB. That's thanks to that.
There he is, 57. Tony Brown and Ashley Hawes. Ashley Hawes, who won the World Championship, the passenger in that number 57 outfit with Tim Reeves last year, and finished 3rd this year with Steinhausen, and he's gone past Ben Holland. Tony Brown, 57, BMC champion 2013. That's a club championship. Is running here with the very best. He's up to 5th.
They're still battling.
Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charlwood on the number 100 blue bike. Oh, Ben Holland's gone off. Ben Holland has gone. He's run wide. Oh dear, Ben Holland, Lee Watson, they are third in the standings at the moment on 213 points. Don't want to be throwing it away on this 3.8-mile circuit. It's a long lap, isn't it, James?
It's a really long lap, yeah, and if you get a chance, just look how long the shadows are. These things are really close to the ground. You wouldn't expect them to have much of a shadow at all. You can just tell how low the sun is.
Johan Reuterholt there with Peter Wall, the Swedish disabled driver. This is Ben Holland running off onto the green stuff. Once he gets onto that green stuff, he's just got to keep it in a straight line, go out on the tarmac, swing it round and rejoin. That's all he can do. Look how close that was. That's Roger Body, series organiser, and Ian Guy. Ian Guy will get a black flag from all the meetings.
Look at that, yeah. Sorry, have a care.
Yeah. Dear, oh dear.
Back at the front.
This is the race at the front. Now, if you watch the number 16, Mitchells of Mansfield, Suzuki of the Birchall boys, you watch in a straight line, James, just how quick it is. Tucking in behind, as I say, top speed. They were 9 miles an hour faster. John Clark out there, running quite well in 9th place. Wouldn't have been racing at all if Sean Hegarty hadn't given him a set of new tyres. How good is that? That's the camaraderie. Here we come. Here comes Birchall out of the slipstream.
How quick is he?
Oh, it is very quick.
Both Reeves and Birchall, both of those teams racing the Isle of Man at the TT. You're not allowed to race these the long outfits, the Formula 1 outfits. They're on the Formula 2 outfits, which is 600cc and a lot shorter and more conventional. They're actually called a conventional outfit. No hub center steering. It's got to be conventional fork steering.
And they won a TT apiece.
That's it. They did. They shared the laurels. I think Birchall's would have won both, except they clipped a curb and got a puncher.
Here he goes.
In the race one.
Sorry to cut across.
Yeah, no, go.
But look, on the inside, it's Tim Reeves just is so quick on the corner speed. Birchall is hunting. He said to me yesterday at the award ceremony, close, next time, next time, next time.
Yeah, this is all learning for the Birchalls, because like I say, it's the first time they've been here. Not so for Reeves.
Well, Tim Reeves had the T-shirts printed before he came in yesterday, so he only needed 3 points in fairness over Andy Peach to lift the title, and that was a formality because Andy Peach dropped back to 7th anyway. But on the inside, Ben and Tom Birchall, number 16 from Mansfield. Mitchell's, the local haulage company, do a great job for them. They pay their entire diesel bill for the whole season. Now, what's that worth?
I don't know, but it's yeah, it's a help, isn't it?
Tim and Tristan Reeves then. There we have 2:12.6.
Just watch how these sidecar passengers are working. That's 112.
Barry James.
Yep.
It's Barry James from San Christie out of it. So that's a shame. John Cable Racing Suzuki out of the running, but they've parked up well away from danger. It's stopped. It hasn't leaked any oil. It hasn't blown up. It's just stopped. And now
back at the front.
It's raging, isn't it? But
yeah.
You see the shadow, you see how dark it is out of the sunlight now.
Yeah, absolutely, when they go in the shadows of those grandstands. And if you get chance through these big sweeping sections where the bikes are going from left to right to left to right, just watch how hard these sidecar passengers are working. And I can tell you, I've done a few laps on one of these sidecars. If so much side grip, if you let go of the handles, the various handles at the wrong time, you are off that thing, you're not holding on. You've got to use the movement of the sidecar to put you in the right place as the passenger.
Well, the drivers say to me the G-force round here, because it is so fast.
So fast, yeah.
About 155 miles an hour on Hanger Straight at the speed check there. And that says, oh dear, yeah.
That's a tyre issue.
It looks to me like a tyre issue.
I would say it is. It's rubbing on something. Something's dropped down onto the, maybe a bit of bodywork's caught on the tyre. That's them out.
Shame for that. Yeah, something's moved. It certainly wasn't smoke from the exhaust, because the exhaust is forward mounted out the side on these things.
Yeah, out the other side than that, yeah.
Reeves plays Birchall on lap 3 then. It takes a long time to get round here. 2 minutes 12.6, the record set yesterday. It was 2 minutes 13 when we came here this weekend, held by Jörg Steinhausen and Gregory Clues, but that went. The Birchalls put in a new lap record in their quest to catch Tim Reeves yesterday, and they nearly equaled that today. Fastest lap they've done today, 6.96. 2:12.696, 2:12.634, their record, but they're looking all the way now. Tim Reeves said to me yesterday, James, he went out too early, wrecked his tyre and allowed Ben Birchall to come back at him, but he's riding a more measured race.
He is, you know, and that's easy done with these sidecars because they are spinning the whole time. That driving wheel is spinning a lot of the time. In fact, one of the jobs of the outfit, the passengers, to get all his weight when the bike's accelerating over that rear wheel to stop it spinning, and that stops the tyre wearing as much.
All Avon tyres, Avon the control tower. Now Birchall is alongside this, trying a different side, and he's got it. Ben and Tom Birchall go into the lead past Tim and Tristan Reeves, but knowing Tim Reeves, he's going to fight back, and he does. He's on the outside. Can Ben hold it tight? It's nip and tuck, but oh,
side by side now.
So brilliant stuff. Now
down into Vale, that should put Reeves into the front, and it does.
And he does, sides through. Well, they had almost a coming together at Donington Park, which resulted in Ben Birchall rocketing off into the undergrowth.
Yep.
And he doesn't want to repeat that.
And I've got to say, there isn't a lot of love lost between these two. Like we've said, it's a fair rivalry. Reeves from the southern part of the country and the Birchall boys from, like I said, Mansfield in the north.
But there is huge respect.
Oh, you've got to have respect. Yeah, you've got to have. And you know, they're in a sport where, you know, it's not like sort of racing some of the car classes where you can nudge each other and that's just accepted. It's got to be a non-contact sport because you can get really badly hurt doing this, and you know that. So you have to have respect for your rivals.
Well, the number 57 rider, Tony Brown, had a big crash at Assen, and his young passenger, Ryan Anderson, is walking around here with strapped up ribs, a plated collarbone and a chipped spine as a result of Assen. So I take your point.
No, I mean, like Shane Burns said earlier today, this job is dangerous enough, both sidecar and solo classes, without you running into each other. So you need that respect.
Look at Tom Birchall on the number 16 outfit, extending his entire body across the driver's side of the outfit. Now on the start-finish straight, down towards Copse, but still Tim Reeves. And there again, that camera straight into the sun. It is so low, the sun in the sky here.
And one of the other jobs that the passenger has got is keeping out the wind down the long straights. They don't look where they're going. They stick the whole head behind the bodywork. That means you've got to count the gears and actually just have an idea where to pop out and where to get in position for the following corner.
Roger Lovelock and Aki Alto, 6.7 seconds adrift in third place of this battle that's raging at the front. It was always going to be like this because you've got two world championship teams here. There's Andy Peach and there Tony Brown having an amazing ride. Tony Brown and Ashley Hall's number 57. This young man very much a star of the future. After that big crash in Assen, here he is right back here mixing it with the top boys, and there's a whole wealth of talent behind him, not least of all third in the championship, Ben Holland and Lee Watson on the Finning Cat Suzuki after their excursion off track. But we're back at the front. Birchall hunting down Tim and Tristan Reeves, who would love to lift the double here and get maximum points. The championship already in their pocket, and again Ben Birchall out of the slipstream, but he's not going to throw caution to the wind. He knows he's got plenty of time. Still 2.5 laps remaining on this 8-lapper.
Yep.
Brilliant stuff.
Actually 3.5, I think. Is my maths working? Normally single figures I'm quite good with.
we're on lap 5, so we've got the remainder of this, and then
6, 7, 8.
3.5.
Yeah.
Your maths better than mine. Sorry about that.
Well, it's been a while for you, hasn't it, Barry?
It has actually. Long time since I was at school.
I bet it were a grammar school in your case.
It was the slate and chalk, and here we go. Reeves then still on the inside. Birchall looking, hunting him all the way now. This is going to be a ding-dong all the way to the flag, I can tell you, but there cannot be contact.
No, you just think that Reeves and Reeves would have the kind of, I don't know, nous and experience round here. You know, not so much experience around this circuit. Now we're swapping to the inside now, the Birchalls.
135 miles an hour at that point over the start-finish line. Dropping down to 4th for Copse. Round they go. Then once they're out of Copse, it's 5th, 6th, right up to top gear, all the way down to Maggots and Beckett's.
Yep. In some of the corners, these sidecars, due to the fact they've got more rubber on the floor, are actually quicker than the solos.
4th gear through here, driving again up to the max once they come out of here. the left-hander ahead of them, and then they're flat out down Hanger Straight.
Yeah, you'll see that the passengers don't have knee sliders because they don't need them. What they have is a backside slider. It is actually just a knee slider with a bit of Velcro stuck on one of their ass cheeks.
A tear-off came off, and then on the inside, going into Stowe. Having a look at Stowe, that's fourth gear round there. That's about 100 miles an hour round there. And Birchall's looking at the inside. Was that, I hate to use a cliche, was that a dress rehearsal?
I don't know. No, I don't think it was. I think that the Birchalls know they've got a quicker bike, and you'll be trying to suss it out so you can use that extra speed. He's got to suss out where he is quicker due to his bike than the Reeves pairing, and just see what he can make of it. I do think, for me, the advantage would still be with the leaders, the Reeves boys.
Well, it's now, the gap is longer now than it's been for a while. Now, maybe Ben Birchall is just girding his loins and getting himself together for a charge in the final 2 and a bit laps. We're on lap 6 now. And now we have 2.5 laps remaining.
Yep.
We are well and truly flying here, these two. Birchalls have got it together again. They're close. It's about 2 bikes lengths.
You're not that now.
It's really close. Can they get out of the slipstream? It is quick, that Suzuki. We saw that on the long track at Brands Hatch, and they are on the inside now. They've got it. They've got it on the brakes. But Tim Reeves long side. He's left Tristan nowhere to go. Round they go, and they've got it. Oh,
no, they haven't.
They have. Birchall's ahead. Ben and Tom Birchall ahead of Tim and Tristan Reeves. That was as close as it gets. A shake of the head from Tim Reeves. Now, well, there is clear tarmac. Can he hang on?
I don't know that he can or not. He's certainly got a quicker bike as Ben and Tom Birchall, but I think Reeves will have a plan. He's a wily old fox.
Well, I've got a plan for later on, and it involves a pint. But here we go. Andy alongside, no, but it's still Ben and Tom Birchall. There they go, into this tight chicane.
Lap and a half to go. This is the move, and it went on for some corners, this. Oh, that is close. He was forced a little bit onto the inside by the Birchalls with Reeves.
Well, it's daggers drawn now. We've got a race on. If we didn't have one before, we've got one now. 0.4 of a second, the gap.
I don't think that Reeves has got the power down the straight to put a move on the brakes on the Birchall boys. I think he's going to have to set it up through a series of corners.
Well, I have to say, Jay, the Birchall boys won the last 7 World Championship races. The last 7, and yet they finished runners-up.
Yeah.
Simply because they had mechanical problems in the early part of the season.
They've had a lot of bad luck generally, have the Birchall boys. As I said, they clipped a banking, like a curb banking thing, just going down towards Craignabar and the Isle of Man. That cost them what was going to be a good win, I think.
Well, they'll be back for more, I'm sure, in 2014. Both of these crews on the F2 600cc outfits, as James Whitham so clearly said. This is a very different ball game, these F1s. 1000cc stock engines, and engines from every Japanese manufacturer and BMW.
Yep, about 180 to 200 brake horsepower. They're still a potent machine, these, although they're towing about 400 kilos with both riders and the chassis and the bike. And that's about double the weight of a superbike, but still, they are still quick.
On the penultimate lap. On the penultimate lap, and Ben Birchall will be acutely aware that Tim and Tristan Reeves, outgoing world champions, are right behind him and desperate to make it a double here and go to the inside.
He had to go at that. That's what I'm saying. He has to set it up around a couple of corners, Reeves, because he doesn't have the straight line speed to put him in a position to nip past on the brakes.
Well, his sector times are very fast simply because it is smooth flowing lines, but now he's looking at the back end.
Last lap.
Ben and Tom Birchall, 3.8 miles of the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit to go, and it's been an absolute cracker at the front.
It's a good job it's a last lap. It's going to be dark in a minute.
Well, we'll have to ring up Egbert Stroyer. Remember him with the headlight?
Yes.
Lucky strike with a headlight. Goodness me. Here we go. Ben and Tom.
Big move.
Oh, big wonderful move. And through on the inside. Has Ben Birchall got anything left on this final lap?
On Hanger Straight, this is where Ben and Tom Birchall need to be good. In the slipstream.
This is where they're quick. Now, that bike of theirs, that 2013 Suzuki, new Suzuki engine LCR, sweeps them back in front. Tim Reeves then relegated back to second, but he fought back. Is that, I wonder, his last opportunity?
No, because there's lots of sets of bends. Like I say, he hasn't got the straight line speed, but Reeves will be setting something up. Now into Vale, we've got a short left, and then a double apex right, and then past the new pit complex.
This is F1 sidecar racing at its
It's just good, cracking racing this, Barry.
9.8 seconds adrift, the third place man, but look at this, they're halfway round then on the final lap over the other start-finish area, the new pits as it's called, round the back. And now the gap is huge. I have to say, it's almost as though, and I won't say Tim Reeves has settled because he doesn't
do that.
He can't spell the word.
He doesn't do that.
Oh, dear me. He's going to gather himself and have a final lunge, I think, maybe into the complex.
Yeah, maybe, but you've got to remember, but the Birchall boys have a slightly quicker outfits around here, around this corner and down the Wellington Straight. They're going to pull probably a little bit more out.
Ben and Tom Birchall then on their way to what surely is a top step of the podium here.
No, I won't say surely.
In the penultimate
They're defending,
round.
and they are defending, and that's going to cost them time. It's going to be a lunge if he is going to do anything, Reeves. I don't think he's got time now, one corner left.
It's going to be the sprint now, and I think the speed of the Birchall boys is going to get them over the line ahead of Tim and Tristan Reeves. So 25 points to add to their championship tally, and a much-deserved win here. Tim and Tristan Reeves settling for second place. Great stuff. Ben and Tom absolutely delighted. Oh, Andy Peach is going for third. He's got Lovelock. Andy Peach and Charlie Richardson, the number 4. L&W Suzuki have grabbed third from Lovelock. And Tony Brown, a very creditable 5th place. That young man did himself the power of good. Ricky Stevens, Ryan Charlwood looking back down the track for them. 7 seconds adrift. There comes Ben Holland over the line. And there you have it then. Ben and Tom Birchall, fantastic race winners. A fastest lap of 2:12.696, set the lap record yesterday. And Tim and Tristan Reeves following them home for runner-up spots, so another 20 points. But there you have it, they are the Eastern Airways British F1 Sidecar champions, Tim and Tristan Reeves. Excellent race. Bit gloomy. The sun has deserted 2/3 of this Silverstone circuit. It is very late in the day here. This race got off the line at 10 minutes to 6. Great stuff though. Well, what more can I say? Tim and Tristan Reeves, second place, but the Birchalls took the win. Half a second, 0.521 was the gap in the final analysis. And we saw that drama between Roger Body and a handstand from Rick Lawrence. Haven't seen that for a while because he hasn't ridden this season. He's in there with Ian Guy doing his stuff. Johan Reuterholt and Peter Wall. And they are coming home in 9th place, or they came home in 9th place. 35 seconds adrift. 5th place man there, 57, Tony Brown and Ashley Hawes. Mark Edwards was there in 8th. That's the green Kawasaki number 8. He and Lee Barrett brought it home in 8th. Ricky Stevens, 6th place. Well, confirmation of that then. What a wonderful race that was. 18 minutes it took. Birchalls from Reeves, top Suzuki, all 3. Look, Peach and Richardson just clips Lovelock and Alto for 4th on the BMW. So they're in 4th. There's your podium, the top 3. Tony Brown, Ricky Stevens, Ben Holland, Mark Edwards in 8th, Johan Reuterholt, he'll be thrilled with that on his own chassis, and Gary Horsepole on the Honda with Paul Napton 10th. John Clark on tyres donated by Sean Hegarty Sr. No idea what happened to Hegarty Jr. Went out after 7 laps there, so he's had a disastrous weekend mechanically. Bad news for Hegarty, he'll be tumbling down the points table. Well, look at the sun coming through the stand. You can see just how late it is. Tom Birchall draped over. So there it is, 390. Clear, well clear, the new champions. Peach then well clear of Ben Holland now. 250 established in 2nd place. Lovelock up to 4th, ahead of Hegarty now, who's slipping backwards. Mark Edwards will be pleased with 6th. Barry James, you saw them retire. Ian Drown, young Ricky Stevens, and Craig Chaplow, Case Endervelt there in 10th place. Birchalls moving on to 85, so They had 40 when they came here, so they've done very well this weekend. Up to 11th in the standings, but they are second in the world. What more can I say? FIM silver medal. Well, late in the day then, the second race got underway here, and it was always going to be a battle at the front between two former world champions, Ben and Tom Birchall, and Tim and Tristan Reeves, and Reeves got the drop. Once round Copse, he got his head up and his tail away, and he was gone, flying from the Birchalls. But the Birchalls, learning the circuit all the time, just kept on chipping away. Tony Brown and Ashley Hawes, number 57, took advantage of Ben Holland and Lee Watson's rapid exit from the circuit. They took an excursion onto the grass, had to rejoin further down the field later to recover to 7th place, but it put them right down in the middle of the traffic. Meanwhile, at the front, it was daggers drawn between Reeves 77 and Birchall 16, and there were several passing and repassing moves where you could only just about get a cigarette paper between the two outfits. It was unbelievably close, but what a race it was, and those spectators who stayed here at Silverstone to witness it would have been treated to an absolutely epic F1 sidecar race. It was Reeves ahead again, but Birchall, not to be denied, took advantage of having the quicker engine, slipped ahead, and then headed Tim and Tristan Reeves home to the flag. An absolutely brilliant sidecar race.
There's a fairly charged atmosphere down here in Parc Fermé at the moment. We're here with Ben and Tom Birchall. Ben, I'll come to you first. Some great moves in that race. One thinks of the move in particular on lap 7, when you sort of hung it out for a few corners, then chopped in front, and then again towards the end. Brilliant racing. How was it from your point of view?
Probably one of the best races I've ever had, to be honest, and to come out on top, that makes it even better, you know. Me and Tim, great rivals, have been for a long time. He's had great success in Britain, and we have in the World Championship, and, you know, it's come here on a fantastic circuit and come to a head, and I really enjoyed it. You know, fair from both sides, as hard as you like. No, you know, nothing given from either of us, and the Crescent Suzuki is just, it is a rocket ship. You know, I think Tim were a bit better on brakes in places, but I got a bit better drive and thought about it a little bit more, I think. But hey, thanks very much, and can't thank all my sponsors enough. You know, Mitchells and Mansfield. Just goes on and on. I'm elated.
It was a great performance. Tom, what was it like from your point of view in being involved in all that? Because when Ben was throwing the outfit around, you were almost sort of rocking from side to side with the sheer exhilaration of it down the straights as well as around the corners.
Yeah, an absolutely awesome race. You know, what a way 10th season, but you know, Ben was just driving inch perfect, and to be fair, Tim was, you know, and like Ben said, no quarter asking or giving. It was just a brilliant race, and glad that everybody got to see it. Avon tyres perfect, LCR chassis, Suzuki engine, you know, the whole thing was just singing, and you just thanks everybody. Really enjoyed it.
Brilliant. I love talking to you guys. Such energy from you. Hopefully the bad luck is now behind you and you can move on to more and more wins. Well, there you go to the podium. Well done.
Thanks very much.
Well done, Tom.
Poor bird got his fiver back.
Nice one. We'll let you boys go. Thanks very much, Ben. OK, we'll let the guys go up to the podium. Whilst they're doing that, whilst everything here is calming down a little bit in Parc Fermé, we're going to take a short break. See you back here at Silverstone for a wrap-up with James Whittam and James Hayden. You know, plenty more fisticuffs from them, I'm sure. See you back here in 2.